In a small, forgotten village under the shade of an old chestnut tree lived a little Renault 5 named Renné, and this is his love story. For years, the Renault 5 lived quietly at the edge of the village square. He watched children grow up, farmers come and go, and newer cars rush by without even seeing him. His owner had left long ago, and since then, he waited. Some days were lonely, but he found comfort in the warm sun on his bonnet and the birds that landed gently on his roof. Still, a small spark inside him wished for something more. As the afternoon sun slowly dipped behind the hills, Renné knew it was time to head home. With a gentle hum of his engine, Renné rolled back through the quiet village streets and returned to his favorite spot, under the old tree, just near his home. There, beneath the rustling branches, Renné would rest. The village grew silent, stars appeared above him, and with the soft ticking of cooling metal, he fell asleep, dreaming of open roads. And every morning, just as the first light touched his paint, Renné would wake up with a smile in his headlights, because the very first thing he loved to do was drive. He would leave the village behind and head straight for the open fields, where the air was fresh, the roads were empty, and the morning breeze flowed freely through every curve of his body. This was Renné's favorite moment of the day. Just him, the road, and the promise of something new. One spring afternoon, the air filled with a sound he hadn't heard in years. A pink Citroën Diane arrived in the village. She carried stories in every curve of her body and a smile in her roof. When she parked beside him, the Renault 5 felt his engine skip a beat. She greeted him with a cheerful honk. He shyly flashed his indicators in return. And from that moment, something beautiful began. Villagers saw the pair together and decided the two deserved a celebration. A wedding unlike any ever seen. Garlands hung from the Diane's roof. Ribbons danced on the Renault 5's mirrors, and children decorated their dashboards with tiny flowers. When the village mechanic lifted his wrench and declared them car and wife, their honks echoed through the valley. Months later, the villagers awoke to something extraordinary. A tiny new car stood proudly between them, a perfect mix of both parents. The compact body of the Renault 5, the charming curves of the Diane, and paint split between orange and pink. They named him Renault 5 Diane Jr. Full of energy, he zipped around the square, learning to steer through goats and chickens, as his parents watched with engines humming proudly. And so, under that same old chestnut tree, a family was born, not of metal and rubber, but of stories, memories, and love. The Renné, the Citroën Diane, and their little miracle lived happily ever after, together.